Everybody running around here these days talking about they want a husband or they want to be a wife.
Mhm.
Have they really did the work to be a husband and wife? Did they do the research? Have they been groomed to be a husband and a wife? People just keep talking about I want to be a wife, I want to be a husband. Do you
Mhm.
even know what that means?
Welcome to the pressure cooker.
Yeah. You know, it, that's a huge leap jumping in a relationship being and then after because a lot of people associate relationships with marriage and a lot of cats is nowadays like don't you know get legally married and stuff like that, but it's a lot of it's a big leap.
Hmm.
It's a big leap.
You always hear
And
guys saying I'm dating with intentions,
yeah,
and women, oh,
yeah,
what's the purpose of dating if it's not for marriage?
yeah,
Have you did the homework?
yeah. I think for men, it's a lot of discipline that goes with that. You
Mm-hmm.
have to understand, and that there's some things that you're gonna have to change about yourself, some the way you operate. It's a little change. And now I'm not telling you to do a 360 degrees or
Mm-hmm.
do a 180, but you have to understand somebody else is coming along with you and you have some more responsibilities to
Mm-hmm.
consider. And
What do you think makes some of the qualities that make a good husband? What qualities should a man have?
you have to have a good moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that, you just ain't gonna make a good husband,
Mm-hmm.
a good friend. You ain't gonna make nothing. You have to have some kind of something you stand on,
Mm-hmm.
principles that you stand on, and then you have to be willing to be selfless at times,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to be able to stand your ground when it's necessarily in order for you to continue to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be too quick to back off. Now, I'm not finna tell you that you don't listen. A good leader listens.
Mm-hmm.
A good leader take advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's being wise.
Mm-hmm.
That's being wise. But you can't be no follower.
Mm-hmm.
No colonel, you ain't gonna find a colonel following no private.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will a colonel listen to a private when he say, "Sir, I will advise go this way
Mm-hmm.
because X, Y, and Z"? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
based on my knowledge, it's best for me to take his advice. That doesn't mean I'm following you. That
Mm-hmm.
means I'm gonna take your advice because at the end of the day, it's whether we go left or right. It's whatever happens, I'm gonna get the credit, and if it happens bad, I'm gonna have to get the credit for the bad. The private not gonna get only credit he gonna get is if the colonel say, that private told me that I was due, so he did a great job. And
Mm-hmm.
that then you don't go from being a private to a colonel. You'll go from being a private to a private second class if you do it good.
Mm-hmm.
So being a leader, that's what people don't understand. So as a man, you have to be a leader. You have to be willing to lead, but you also have to be willing to listen. It's not being willing to follow. Because
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of guys, well, you got to follow your wife because she might know or be better at something that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, your ego can't be too big where you can't say, I ain't willing to listen. I'd rather fail doing it my way than
Mm-hmm.
succeed doing it her way. But doesn't mean that you following because eventually if you start doing that shit, she's gonna feel like she's making all the decisions, and once she get in the a role where she has to make all the decisions, the weight is gonna start to get too heavy, and you're gonna seem like a burden after a while because
Mm-hmm.
she got to do it all because you're gonna tend to allow her to do it all or let her do it all and look to her for all the answers, and she's going to get tired and she's going to go somewhere else. Her energy is going to take her somewhere else where another she's willing to follow something else
Yeah, I
besides
think it
you.
can be exhausting for a woman when she has to make all the decisions in the house, when she has to, carry the weight of the entire house. That can be very exhausting, because sometimes, some of the women that find themselves married will be women who have been mothers before they actually became wives. So they've been carrying the weight. So when you meet a husband, you're looking for somebody that can now carry some of the weight, the person that can help make some decisions for you so that you can just be able to walk in your femininity, that you can move through life and not have to stress and not have to worry. It's called being covered. And sometimes when you're covered by a man, it takes off all that heavy weight. You can put, you can rest and you can feel safe and at peace. So yes, you need to have a man that's strong enough to lead you where you're not broke, you don't have food, the rent's not being paid and the bills are not being paid. So yes, you got to be able to trust the man that you choose to lead you. And so that's a big responsibility as a husband, because you can't have no habits. You can't have no bad habits. You can't be making poor decisions because you're taking the family down with you. And no woman wants to be with a man that can't do that. Also, as a woman, you have responsibilities in a marriage. You need to be able to protect and cover the children. You need to make sure they're good. You need to create a peaceful environment. You need to be able to show love and support for your husband spiritually. You need to be able to cover him. You need to be able to pray over him. So there's some responsibilities that you have. And if y'all doing a business or y'all have, you need to be able to do your part in that. Do the research, find the answers that he's trying to get. And when you see decisions that are not good, sometimes your job is just to sit in that meeting and look and watch so that you can inform him, hey, babe, I noticed this when you said this and that person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should trust that. Not to speak up and overshadow him in that moment, but to have his back. And a lot of times I think some women miss that because they may have more education. They may know a little more in that subject. And I think they speak out of turn sometimes.
Exactly, because like being a leader sounds good
Mm-hmm.
in theory, but what comes with leadership is stress,
Mm-hmm.
pain,
Mm-hmm.
aggravation,
Mm-hmm.
not being able to rest well,
Mm-hmm.
or late nights.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a lot that comes with that. As some men, they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to have to deal with that. That's why you'll find some guys that they'll work a full-time job, make
Mm-hmm.
good money, but they won't never have a place of their own.
Mm-hmm.
They'll always go live with women. They'll have a nice car,
Mm-hmm.
cell phone, pay a
Mm-hmm.
couple of credit card bills or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but they don't want the stress of running a household,
Mm-hmm.
something breaking,
Mm-hmm.
insurance going up,
Mm-hmm.
or property taxes,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature, light bill,
Mm-hmm.
light went up, cable, you know, different things like that. They don't want the stress of that. They
Mm-hmm.
would just rather just go. A woman got to find a woman with her stuff together, and they would just rather just move in with her and
Mm-hmm.
pay her bills.
So who do you think handles stress better, men or women?
Men are built for stress.
Yeah,
Men are built for it.
but who handles it better?
Men,
Men.
men,
Mm-hmm.
women will overreact to too many petty things. Women will overreact instead of being patient when a situation is occurring. Now, that's not to say men won't act fast enough on something that should have been taken care of quickly, but women tend to overcorrect for petty things, and that's why it's not good for her to deal with those type of things, because um it can make situations chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
The totality of the situation is chaotic, because anytime you inject your emotions in anything situations, and women are too quick to inject their emotions into things, it clouds your judgment,
Mm-hmm.
really clouds your judgment. If you too sympathetic, you can, give leniency to somebody that shouldn't have leniency.
Mm-hmm.
If you are too angry, you will tend to uh, overreact on a situation that could have been talked out, that could have been negotiated.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you have to be very careful. A man can like I can punish my children and not be mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very good at that. I don't have to get mad to punish my children. Most of the time, women correct children when they're wrong, when they're angry, when they feel that they, disrespected them in any kind of way, or whatever. I don't have to do that. As long as the kids is not making them feel um, a certain kind of way, they will let them slide with certain things. Where
Mm-hmm.
I won't let you slide if I think that you've done something that deem me needing to say something. But also, I won't say it. I won't correct you on every single little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And women tend to want to do that too much, and not just with those situations, with situations financially. It's women tend to overspend on things, thinking that it will fix. That's what's necessary to fix the problem. It's just not. That's not where it's at. But what women do have over men is their instincts, their ability to feel something before it actually happened. Where men, sometimes we have to actually see it, and sometimes reacting to a problem, you're maybe a little bit too late.
So, what is the foundation you think of a good marriage? What foundation has to be laid for the marriage to be good?
uh the foundation of a marriage has to be y'all, your values, your beliefs, and your principles has to be aligned.
Mm-hmm. So, being equally yoked.
Well, that's a vague word because
Mm-hmm.
so many people have different definitions of that. But those are the key things, because some people would put finances in there.
Well, I think the foundation
You
is,
know,
like you say, your spirituality. Who do you believe in? Who do you turn to for guidance? Because a man has to have something that guides him, that leads him, in order to be able to lead the woman.
I don't think you have to be. I don't think you have to believe in the same thing, because otherwise, a Catholic and a Baptist can't be together.
No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the man has to have something that he believes in that's greater than himself
I
in
definitely
order
don't
to lead.
recommend. I don't think I could be with the person who didn't believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're Catholic, Methodist, Pentecostal, or some people don't believe in Jesus, some people just only
Mm-hmm.
believe in God, I could deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really want to be with nobody like an atheist.
Mm-hmm.
We probably wouldn't get along that well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, because it's our logic can't it it
It
it
won't
it,
be in alignment.
it, it,
It's
it
hard.
just yeah, logic doesn't tell the whole story about human beings. We're not logical beings, we're spiritual beings.
Mm-hmm.
We're based around our spirit, and when you leave, your spirit still will be around.
Mm-hmm.
It just will.
Mm-hmm.
If my mama's spirit wasn't around, I would have forgot about her.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But it lingers.
Mm-hmm.
The people you that's gone, their spirit lingers. You think of things about them, so their spirit is still here.
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I think, not to get into all that religious stuff, I think that, you do have to be somewhat on the same page spiritually. You can't be one to the left and one all the way to the right. Now, yeah, you can't be that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So,
that's where I think that's where I'm at with that.
so spirituality is the foundation of a good marriage.
Yeah.
I agree.
One of the things.
Yeah.
Kevin and Caprice. Let's talk relationship.